Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to team meeting number 53. Yeah, sorry, I was looking, I have two laptops now. Yeah. Anyway, today on the team meeting, we have two laptops and not the meeting notes up. Today on team meeting, we have some questions from faculty. I don't think we have any, but I'm going to check them a bit. We have some business development, new courses proposed. We're going to be talking about Woodblock, I think. For 2015. And we also have some, we have some notes about Slack. So I'm going to throw you straight over to Rob. Sorry about messing it all up. Rob.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We're going to, again, keep the open section of the meeting for about 20 minutes. If you have questions for us or comments, please send them to at Oplerno on Twitter, or you can also email them to us at questions@oplerno.com. What I want to start off with today is a little discussion about business development and what we're doing in terms of approaching businesses. I've written a March update, which will go out sometime in the next 48 hours or so you can get a little bit more detail. But a little quick summary is that we are approaching different businesses about their workforce development needs, and the businesses are talking with us about skills that their employees need to develop. And then what we're doing is we're starting to assemble those lists, and then we'll be contacting faculty to, if there's a direct match between the skills that business needs to be developed with amongst the employees, then we're going to match that class with faculty members. For example, there's one particular one which we're talking to that does a lot of work in restaurant management and some tourism. And of course, Pam, Professor Pam, she's got a class in restaurant management that has been offered, and we also have another faculty member who has courses in tourism and hotel management, that type of issue. So we're going to try to match some of the courses directly with the needs of the businesses, but also there are a ton of classes and skills. Sorry, there are a ton of skills that we don't have classes developed for, and we're going to be when we formalize an agreement with the company, we're going to be farming that work out to faculty members. And of course, the reason why we're doing that is these businesses have, potential students for us, and students to start working through the program, the programs and the courses and the certificates that Oplerno has to offer. Really important for you guys to remember that we're still very much pushing the direct student recruitment and having faculty recruit through their networks, but we also think that this is a great way to help us gain traction. So you'll be hearing a lot more about this in the next month as those businesses sign up, and as we start to recruit more companies and such to be helping us out. There's also a couple of other things which we'll talk about next week. Okay. So Dan, can you talk a little bit about the course building for Oplerno faculty and what we're up to with that?
Yeah, that should be nearing about the time where we'll start recruiting students. Again, just sort of the pitch is that this course will be available at 4 different levels for any Oplerno faculty member or oncoming Oplerno faculty member. It'll range from all levels of introduction to online learning and any sort of platform, how to build courses, what to include, all that sort of stuff, maybe how to transfer and transform your face-to-face teaching stuff into online learning environment, all the way up to somebody who's been experienced and maybe even all the way through Canvas but wants to tweak their courses to perhaps be a little more dynamic, a little more engaging, using different methods, applications, and the like. We're working with Dr. Linda Kaiser to get these up and running, and she is one of our faculty members already who had pitched a few courses about online learning for educators. And we've transformed a lot of that information into sort of this clinic-style crash course in 2 weeks, 2-week chunks. They're going to be, they're going to be more affordable than the typical 12-week course, which follows logic. And yeah, so we're hopefully rounding the final corners on that. We'll keep you all updated as we get closer.
Great. Now let's talk. Let's move a little bit on to the next subject, which is Woodblock 2015. I'm talking a little bit about that. Sujin, do you want to just talk a little bit about what you saw in Woodblock last year that you thought worked and didn't work? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. I can hop in, of course, if you would like me to.
Okay, so Rob is putting me on the spot because I've been doing some stuff on the website involving the Woodblock pages. And even though I didn't attend Woodblock last year, one of the things I did like was the variety of topics that Woodblock deals with. I'm looking at the schedule again. We're talking about the future of higher ed, developing programs, working remotely, all these topics that you can all learn from. But the main thing that I wasn't really sure about is what Rob mentioned. This was a whole week.
yeah, and that's
sorry, Rob.
Yeah, and Sujin, that was funny at the meeting, our marketing community meeting, where you very nicely basically said, Rob, we're going to be doing this for a whole week, and it was really fun to do it a whole week. Last time, we're not. We're going to basically compress things down into probably 2 days, and a much more compact session with bringing people in to talk, or again, faculty members to present their courses or the material, or talk about what they would like or what they're building. So we'll be getting more information to you on that in the coming month. But Woodblock is going to happen in August. If you have, please, can everybody chime in here? The second or third week in August is a good time to do Woodblock, although we might end up switching it potentially and doing it a little bit in June, because that's traditionally when people can kind of get away. So if you, as a faculty member, have a preference, please let us know, but we want the maximum amount of participation as possible. And it will be, again, online, and we will have some sort of space in Vermont to do this, okay, if you want to show up in person. But the goal is to have this done online, exactly as Woodblock was done last year, but also as some of the stuff at Pando Daily has been done, how they do their conferences, which are quite excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And also that a week is too long.
And what?
I agree, and that a week is slightly too long. I also want to note for the
a week is way too long. I cannot believe. I cannot believe we did it for a week. That was crazy, but it worked.
Yeah, and I think it just had a baby as well. I think the baby was almost coming out. So.
Yeah, or just
yeah. For this year, we'll also do some sessions, or hopefully do some things which are slightly better for our European viewers as well. Start slightly earlier or slightly later in some cases with some things.
Hey Dan, I heard that you wanted to keep it a week. Is that true, Kirk?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, only a couple of days. Anything you want to add in, Dan?
I think we got a lot of time to figure it out.
Yep.
Unless we're doing June, then it's much sooner than August. But
yeah, I think August for us is probably the best month. I would say we'll keep it in terms of an August session, and I don't know. We also may do some, rebranding of the name, etc. So again, if you have any preferences, faculty members or community, in terms of the weeks, the first week in August is not going to be possible, but the second or the third week is, please let us know. Okay. I want to add a couple things that I need a little request from faculty, students, or community members is that you sit in front of your computer a little bit and you just spend 5 minutes and record a small session about what Oplerno means to you and what do you like about it, and if you're a teacher, what you're working on. And if you could send those to me at skiff@oplerno.com, that would be great. They can also be links to YouTube if you would like, or a video file, or a link to a video file that I can download. But those would be really helpful for us. And if we use them in terms of any of our websites or any publicity, I'll talk with you about that way beforehand. Okay, so just sit down and tell us a little bit about Oplerno and what it means to you and what you're working on. That would be great. So Daniel and Sujin, you guys want to talk about Twitter and Slack?
All right, Slack. As we mentioned in last week's open meeting, we've created a Slack channel for Oplerno faculty. And this is a place for all of you faculty members to get together. You can talk about your courses or talk about whatever you want. Your favorite sports team, your favorite TV show, the sky's the limit. And we'd love to see more of you on Slack. I know a couple of you are on there already, which is great. But the URL is oplerno-faculty.slack.com, and then you can join and talk about whatever you want. And some of us will be in there as well to answer questions or talk about anything you want. You have anything to add, Daniel?
No, I was very happy that in last week's meeting that some faculty members decided to join up. We got Rob in there as well, which I was very happy about. And of course, I'm on Slack all the time. So if you have any questions for us, the Slack is also a good place to do it. We don't have any. In the past, a long time ago, we tried to have, say, a formal. Sessions for ourselves, for Dan and Rob and I, so that you can ask us questions if you had any pressing need to talk to somebody. And Slack is, of course, an ideal place also to be able to do that in chat, and so that we don't have to have real-time Skype sessions or everything that everybody has to be in place at the same time. We're a distributed team, and so we can answer the questions as soon as we get them, and without needing to be online exactly at that point, which is fantastic. And of course, the same goes also for your co-faculty members or your fellow faculty members, that you can ask them questions, pose them questions there, shoot them a line if you have a question technically or about a course or about something else, or about maybe starting up a sticker together, developing something together. Is a great place, and of course just to shoot the breeze. I think Professor Peters was one of our first one who said, "How about them Yanks?" So how about them Yanks?
Oh, Pat, I'm going to have to talk with you. You need to switch allegiance from the Yankees to the Red Sox, but we don't need to bore our international audience with that type of talk. Okay. Twitter feeds. Remember that it's at Oplerno. And so please subscribe to Twitter. Right now we're having a lot of fun, tweeting to different people and building up our profiles there. And we'll be adding other social media. On a personal note, I'm finding more and more of what Facebook is doing slightly distasteful. And if anybody has any suggestions or alternatives to the large behemoth that is Facebook, please let us know. You can check website updates on our Facebook profile at Oplerno. Okay. Last thing is, if you're a faculty member or you're a community member or a student and you want to participate in the open meeting, please send us an email to skiff@oplerno.com or to info@oplerno.com, or just get in touch with any of the 5 of us, or Michael Lee, and we'll get you on and participating in the open meeting. and you can make a pitch for your class, or you can discuss an issue that is important to you. Okay. I think that's about it, unless you guys had anything else you wanted to add.
No, I don't have anything.
I'm all set.
Yeah, I'm all set too. Don't have anything else to add.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you all very much for attending. We'll see you next week, and look for the March update in your mailbox, and thank you all for attending. We'll see you online.
See you online.